Welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show with Dickson County Head Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post Sports reporter Casey Patrick. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt First Lending Solutions, where your dreams find the perfect mortgage match. Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, your local Medicare specialist, voted #1 for health insurance. Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience, voted the #1 auto dealership in Dickson County. Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, where trust meets expertise, navigating the real estate market with confidence and unlocking your home dream. Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, for all your flooring and paint needs since 1970, voted #1 in Dickson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Casey Patrick.
Hello and welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. My name is Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Jeff Tomlinson. Coach, this last Friday, you got to make your first playoff appearance with Dickson County. It was a tough game against Houston. What made their offense so lethal?
They're very balanced, of course, and that running back, number 10, is really good, and he's hard to contain. And when you do contain him, he's still picking up 4, 5, 6, 8 yards. And then when you're having to focus on him, then that opens up their passing game, and they got some weapons on the outside too. And it's just they're just very balanced, good. They have a very good offense.
Now, I think also another thing, I underestimated their defense, which of course I only got to see a few of the numbers, but their defense was pretty good too.
It was. I mean, we had some drives and did some things good, but offensively, we just shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times. We did a lot of things this year that are on offense that we hadn't done all year long, is preseason, before we snapped the ball over a quarterback's head or things like that. So or get a silly penalty for jumping off sides and things that you can't do and can't get behind the chains. We talked about it last week. You just can't get behind the chains, especially against a good team. And they're a good defense, but we should have had more success offensively than we did.
Well, and the penalties and going along with they were a good defense, and the penalties and the issues made it really difficult to get in a rhythm too.
Yeah, that, and then of course jitters. It's different atmosphere. Playoffs are just different than the regular season. I don't know how to explain it, but it is. It's just it's their aura about it, and the guys come in with some jitters, and they were a little geeked up at times, and jump. That's why we were jumping off sides and different things, and having. Not hanging onto the football and fumbling the football and things of that nature. And, it's stuff that we got to try to treat that game as any other game. And, for whatever reason, Friday, we let that game get to us a little bit.
Well, and I was going to ask you, too, what are some of the differences of a playoff game as opposed to a regular season game? I mean, obviously it's a little bit later in the year, but it's hard to put the importance on it is just another game, but every play's a little bit more important.
It's just weird. I don't know. I mean, it's just like going into, the NFL or Major League Baseball. They play 162 games a year, and then, all of a sudden they're playing playoff baseball, and the atmosphere is just totally different. And then that's just the way it is in, football too. I mean, you walked out on that field and you could just feel it. I mean, you can feel the atmosphere being different. It's just a totally different vibe. And I can't explain it, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and another thing too, I'll be honest, for about a 2.5, 3 hour drive, I think Dickson County had quite a few fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many as Houston, but a pretty good number.
Yeah, we traveled well. I mean, it was nice, a good atmosphere. Like I said, there, and of course Houston's got the turf stadium with the big jumbotron, and the lights go out whenever they score, and they flicker, let the LED lighting stuff. So that's all different too, and it was a really nice setup. It was a fun atmosphere to play in.
Yeah, I kind of felt, honestly, when I got there, it kind of felt like almost like a D2 school or something. Because the jumbotron did kind of throw me for a loop. That's the first time I had been there. Just little things like that when you go to a stadium that's got a bunch of bells and whistles. Is that something too that could add to the jitters?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at that, and Beach has got one, and then a lot of other places around Murfreesboro, and if you go to Murfreesboro, Oakland's, theirs is like the size of the Titans, and so it definitely it adds to the excitement. It adds to the atmosphere, the environment, the whole the whole thing, and it's really fun. I mean, it's cool, and the kids love it, and I'm glad to get to experience it.
Well, and speaking of experiencing it, what do you think the kids were able to experience on Friday night that is a positive thing they'll be able to?
Well,
take
it starts with the whole thing. It starts, leaving here and going through town in a police escort to get us to, and it starts that, and then stopping and getting a pregame meal halfway and eating as a team, and we're taking up most of the restaurant, and they're all sitting there eating, and then you get down there and you walk the field because you go down early and you walk the field and you get back and then you start getting taped and wrapped and and everything, and you get ready for the game and then go through the pregame, which is another cool little atmosphere of postseason play, and then you go through the game and you play the game and you try to play the game like it's any other game, but it's a little different and it feels a little different, so they play a little different. So you bring all those positives back from it. The next time we do it, next year when we do this again, all of that's going to be new to them, and they're not new to them anymore. It's all going to be, oh yeah, this is the way it happens. So you just bring back the experience of being able to go through it and do it, and hope that you learn those types of things from it, and it's not new to you next year.
All righty. Well, I'm going to ask you a few more questions about the experience, and especially about next year, because I think he plans on going back to the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure that team does too. So before we do that, though, we're going to take our first break. When we get back, I'm going to ask him a few things, and like I said, we are going to bring him next year, so don't go anywhere.
Tim Southerland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Southerland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydickson.com.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. Pamela Witt and her team make getting a mortgage easy with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the banks, so you can trust us to have your best interest at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. My name is Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. And, Coach, have you had an opportunity to go back and watch the tape? And are there some guys that played a little bit better than maybe you thought they did just watching the game Friday night?
I have not watched it.
Yeah.
I on the way back from Memphis, I said, I don't know if I'll watch this one for a week or so and just kind of just relax. And so my computer stayed here. It didn't go home with me. I just relaxed this weekend. We did family stuff, and we didn't do a whole lot of football stuff. The Titans wasn't on.
Yeah.
I did watch a little bit on college football on Saturday, but we, tried to just get away from it for a little while. So one day this week I'll watch it and get, we can get see what the evaluate that process is. I will say this though, I'm glad we got a lot of guys in. A lot of younger guys, our quarterbacks played. We rotated the two quarterbacks at the end of the game, and DeMarcus had some nice plays, which Ben did as well. And then defensively, we were able to get some linebackers in there like Martez Stewart and Devin Dugan, and Aiden White played a lot at the corner, or not the corner, the dagger spot, what we call our outside corner position, slot corner. So that's nice to see. See those guys get the experience to play in that game.
And I'm glad you brought that up because my next question was going to be about the seniors and some of the guys that played maybe earlier in the game. I know you've got a few big names, McCaleb Frazier and Malachi Redmond and Isaiah Daniel come to my mind first, but I was looking at the roster a minute ago. What did that group of seniors mean to this team?
You know, I told them at the end of the game, I said, be proud of what you've accomplished. You guys have, took this program to the next step. I said, we started it as when y'all were juniors, and the seniors last year, helped lead us to in the weight room and in the off season and help us through that first season. But you guys were the ones that really took it to the next level, and I'm proud of that. And they did a great job, and we tried to leave them in as much as possible and let them experience the last part of that game, but at the same time rotate some people in so they get experience too. So, it was pretty tricky there at the end to get everybody and let the seniors have their last little hoorah too.
Yeah. Now, one of the other questions I had, and this doesn't have to necessarily be a senior, but who are some guys that over the season really grew as people and football players?
Well, like I said, a lot of those young guys that we just mentioned, Aiden White, I thought really played, well toward the end of the season, and he was rotating in the defensive secondary in practice and got on the kickoff team and, was on our punt block team too. And so, he started really stepping up and playing, getting a lot of attention. Martez Stewart was the same way as a freshman. A lot of other freshmen too. Matthew Newberry and Coda Zimmerman played a lot of D-line. Trey Ashworth was getting work in the seconds at offensive line. So there was a lot of young guys there. And then as far as really varsity, coming on varsity-wise, I think the two names that you got to mention is Tristan Brown and LaDanian Walker. They really played a lot of varsity snaps, cut down the stretch, and played well and got better as the year went on.
Yeah, and LaDanian Walker is one of those guys, not to single him out, but he's one of those guys that through the course of the season, he just continued to get more and more playing time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was, like I said, he continued to get better, and he grew, and he was more accustomed to what his job was, and he was doing a very good job, and he won him a job. And that's how you do it. You just get in there and you work hard, which by the way, if LaDanian's watching this, LaDanian's got to get in the weight room, and he's got to work hard in the weight room. Yeah. He's got to work out there on the work in the weight room like he works on the football field, and that will help his game significantly. But anyways, that's what he did. He got out there and he worked hard in practice, and he won him a spot.
Yeah. Now, a few of those other seniors I wanted to bring up, Eli Andrews and William Rosales. You've got guys, both of those guys play a lot of minutes up there on the line. Are you excited about, I know you're excited about the rest of the team, but tell me the part you're excited about, especially with the guys up front coming back next year.
Yeah, well, see, you lose, and, we'll go through, you lose William Rosales, you lose Jordan Macklin, you lose Jonathan Perez, you lose Eli Andrews on the defensive side, you lose McCaleb Frazier on the defensive side. And so, we're losing some guys up front, but we're also excited about the fact that the guys that's been going against them all year in practice has gotten better, and they're going to be able to. We feel like they're going to be able to step in and really make a splash early. And like I said, the defensive side, we're talking about the Matthew Newberry and Coda Zimmerman, and we still have Trevor, and then of course Trevor's brother Trey, and Jalen Harper at nose guard, who's a freshman that's going to play a lot next year probably at nose because he's a big, strong body. Offensively, you're looking at Trey. Trey and Trevor probably playing beside each other. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot to go to before we get into next year's thing. But you got people like Jacob Clifton, who will probably step in and fill in some spots for us. Tristan Justice has got some some time there that can learn and possibly step in. Derek Blymeister, there's a lot of there's a couple of freshmen too that Carson Schroeder could see some action there. So there's a lot of action. There's a lot of options there that we're excited about seeing which ones develop and how it plays out.
Now, and speaking of that, every coach has their own kind of schedule and kind of thing that they keep up with. But what's the schedule going to look like for you I know you're going to take a week before you want to look at the game tape. You got some other stuff, but what's the schedule kind of look like in the off season, preparing to get back to work with you?
Yeah, well, we'll take a couple of weeks off. We'll probably wait until after Thanksgiving, come back in here the Monday after Thanksgiving, which we have them in the morning and in the afternoon for their PE classes. So we'll get back to work in the weight room starting then. We'll have about 2 weeks before Christmas break. So basically what we're doing is finding baselines. We're going to test them out and see where their baselines are. And that way, whenever we come back in here in January, we hit the ground running with their percentages, what percentages they're supposed to be lifting at according to what baseline they have, and build it from there. So we work on a 6-week cycle, and so every 6 weeks we retest those baselines to readjust their percentages, and they'll work out from now all the way up until the last week of April, which we don't stop working out the last week of April, but that's when we'll start spring practice. And then we'll go through spring practice, and then after spring practice, we usually give them about 2 weeks off, and then we hit our summer schedule. So they're getting 2 weeks off now, and then they're not going to get 2 more. Well, they'll get Christmas off, and then they get 2 more weeks off around Memorial Day, and then that's it.
Well, it'll be here before you know it, really.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It does every year.
It doesn't stop.
No, never. Well, we're going to take our next break. When we get back, I'm going to go over a little bit more over this past weekend, maybe if Coach saw anything on Saturday that he liked, and a few other questions I got here. So make sure you don't go anywhere.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Friendly customer service and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
If you're looking to buy or sell in Dickson County, Tennessee, call Tim Southerland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Southerland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydixon.com.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Come see why we were voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County. Visit stevejonesauto.com.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson.
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. My name is Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Jeff Tomlinson. Coach, one thing I wanted to ask you, how different is the off season as a football coach? I know you still got a job to do here,
Right.
and how different is it for you just to now? Football's still important. Don't get me wrong, but now you're a teacher for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm always a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm always a teacher, and definitely that's my first job, and that's the job that I that's
For
what
sure.
pays the bills and gets me puts the food on the table. But it does alleviate a little bit of more time just because the stress level that I put on myself putting into football now is a little bit relaxed, and I can breathe a little bit, which will allow me to just be more available for anything, for the other stuff, and as the teaching job, like for today.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't have to do any working on any practice plans or anything like that for football, so that gives me more time to do other things.
Well, I know you've told me before, but if you will go ahead and tell me again, what type of class do you teach?
Economics.
Economics.
So yeah, I teach economics, and I always tell the guys there, the kids in that class. I said, it's not necessarily the most exciting class that you're ever going to have to take, but it is at least one of the more practical classes.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to apply it to your everyday life. Every day is about economics and decision making. So.
Well, and it's got to, again, we all love football season. That's why we're here, but it's got to make it a lot easier to do that part of the job when there's no football to be played, right?
Yeah, it is. There's definitely easy. Anytime you take something off your plate, it gives you more time for, to do other things or to add time to other things. So, yeah, it's definitely is.
Okay, well, and I'm sure you've been looking forward to this parent-teacher conference all weekend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, it's great. It's great. I actually do like it. I get to put some faces to, kids' faces to parents' faces and get to know some of the kids a little bit better by doing it. So hopefully we'll get a few out.
All right. Now, Saturday you said you got to watch a little bit of college football. Did you see anything that you really liked?
I tell you what, I don't know if I really liked it or what, but the most exciting game is I've been kind of following Austin Peay lately, and then Austin Peay played Eastern Kentucky this week. So I watched that full entire game. If we hadn't been in Memphis Friday, I was going to that game, but at Eastern. But it was, I just didn't want to drive up there. Colby, plays quarterback. He's redshirting, I guess, but he's a backup quarterback at Eastern Kentucky, and then Jabari helps with the team and is one of the managers with Austin Peay. So I got a picture text sent to me by text, but from Colby about 2:00 or so, I guess, that afternoon before the game started at 4, and of course they were out there, and it was them two, beside each other, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw the photo circulating on Facebook.
Right, I said that's pretty cool. So I of course, and then I posted it too, but I sat down and watched that game, and it was a really good game. Mm-hmm. Austin Peay was up by 2 scores, and then Eastern come flying back and tied it up, and had to give Austin Peay the ball with less than 2 minutes, and they drive down and score, which I think Austin Peay should have probably ran the clock out and kicked the field goal, and just the game would have been over. But they scored with 39 seconds left, and Eastern come back down and scored and tied it back up with like 6 seconds left, and they went into overtime, and Austin Peay ended up winning 33-30, but it was, they scored, like I said, they scored back and forth, and it was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, I saw the final score of that game, but I didn't watch it, so I didn't know that's how that happened, but that does sound like a pretty good game. One of the other things I wanted to ask you about, did you get to watch any football yesterday at all?
I did not. I went and played golf after church yesterday.
I don't blame you. It was a beautiful day for it. I will say one cool thing that I wanted to bring up. They played a game in Germany, and the official actually called the false start in German, and the whole crowd erupted, and I thought that was neat. But
I did not see that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool myself. I thought that was neat, but something about Patrick Mahomes is now won in 4 different countries, I think, and that guy just continues to win.
That's not surprising. I mean, everybody talks about the top-tier quarterbacks in the league, but I think he's number 1 by a large margin, and then you have, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for probably, the next level tier, but he's by himself. He's in a tier by himself.
Absolutely, because you see the things he can do, but then, he's got the Super Bowl rings to go with it. He wins. Regardless of what it looks like and how he does it, he wins football games. And some of these other guys, they don't always win.
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead and go to our next break, and then whenever we get back, we're not going to talk about golf, even though I'd love to do that. We're going to talk a little bit more about next year and the group he's got coming back. So make sure you don't go anywhere.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation and warranties at friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. Pamela Witt and her team make getting a mortgage easy with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the banks, so you can trust us to have your best interest at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County, a truly enjoyable car buying experience, friendly customer service, and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with health markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. My name is Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. Coach, I had a few questions here about the seniors, but I'm going to skip those because, we've talked a little bit about those. One thing I did want to ask you, will this offseason, this upcoming offseason, will it change or will it be any different because of the playoff appearance?
No, I don't think it changes at all. I mean, we're still trying to build the program to the level that it used to be, and we've made some steps there. But we just got to keep plugging away and do the same thing that we did last offseason. I feel like this coming offseason will be better because they see the progress and they see what last offseason did for them, and now they can build on it. So they have they know what to expect, and they know what how it's gonna help them.
Now, Friday night you said a quote that I wound up using in my story, and it was, when you got here, y'all were crawling, and now you're more walking. But how important was it to let these guys know that they're not running yet, but they're on the way?
Yeah, that's exactly what I told them. I said, it's a process, and it's just like, it takes time, and you can't instantly fix stuff. Even though we live in an instant world where, you can throw something in the microwave and it be ready in 30 seconds, or, you can pull it up on the internet and you've got it at the tip of your finger, you get it at your fingertips right away. It used to not be that way. And building a program like what we're trying to build you can't do it. It can't snap your fingers and it be done. So it's got to be done over time, and just let them know that, they're making progress, and we were crawling when we got here, and we're walking now, and we're starting to hit a little jog, and we look excited to see what the future is going to bring.
Now, and of course, the future, if you do start running, the future is going to, this is the next question I got, expectations. And they're, you've been to the playoff once now. I think you kind of expect to go back.
Every year.
Absolutely.
I don't see any, we ought to be going every year. We're, that's our expectation. Not just to get there. That was kind of the goal there this year, was to get there. Now it's not to get there. It's to go and show up in the playoffs and make noise. And that's going to be our goal from here on out. We can't ever stop climbing that mountain, and we got to be able to, draw a line on the side of the hill and get to the top of that line and then do it again. Like I said, we feel like the future's bright. We got some good young pieces to be able to plug in, and if they work hard in the off season, I don't see anything. I don't expect nothing less but a playoff run.
Are you worried about the expectations that some other people might put on this team going forward?
I hope not. I'm not. I think we know where we stand right now, and I'm gonna set the bar high. We set the bar high. My expectations are going to be high, and I wouldn't expect anybody else's to not be high. So, yeah, it's pressure on us and pressure on me to make sure that we stay at that level, but that's why we do it. And, I want the community to expect us to be very good every year. That's where we need to be. That's what to rally around a team. It takes all of us to do it. And I thought we saw that at the end of the year. Toward the end of the year, we started seeing that.
Well, and it's a little bit different to be hunted than it is to be the hunter, but
right.
you kind of want to be hunted, and you want to do the things that make it where you can host a playoff game here one day, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the goal for sure. Next year we want to host. We were close to hosting this year, but that's the next thing on the list to check off is hosting a playoff game here, in the first round, second round of the playoffs.
All right, now, Coach, I just got one more question. After speaking with some of the other coaches in the region, I know Northwest had a tough year, but I know he's planning on, his team's younger and it's going to get better. Clarksville's a powerhouse program. Rossview, I don't think they're going anywhere. The rest of this region is going to be tough, but you guys are ready to go take it on.
I am, absolutely, and I think the region is going to be improved all the way around from every team next year. I think West Creek's going to be better. Kirkwood's going to be better. Rossview and Clarksville's going to be Rossview and Clarksville. Northwest was young, so they're going to get better. The Kenwood's got the quarterback coming back, so they can't be nothing but, a little bit better. And so the whole region's going to be better, but I expect us to be a lot better too. So, it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. You need that. You need them to be good. That way they can make
Yeah, I
sure y'all are
think,
good.
if you go back, you look, it's Clarksville High, they got beat in the first round of the playoffs, went 10-0 and got beat in the first round of the playoffs because I don't think their schedule, especially their non-region schedule, was enough to test them.
Yeah.
They didn't play anybody out of the region that was and Springfield is always a game that they have to play. Not have to, but they do because it's a regional game, and Springfield happened to be a little down, and that one didn't test them like it normally does. But you got to schedule, to me, a little bit tougher non-region opponents to sharpen that sword to get in when you get into the playoffs.
All righty. Well, Coach, I've enjoyed doing this show.
It's been great.
Yeah, all year long. I really like doing this. You've been great at it, and I've enjoyed all the people that have helped make this happen. But good job this year, Coach, and good luck going forward.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you. Go Cougars.
There it was. Y'all have a good evening.
You've been watching the Dickson County High School Coaches Show with Dickson County head coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post sports reporter Casey Patrick. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Dickson County football. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, Steve Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.